magnificent. Good morning, Colonel, sir. Fine bright today. I hear down at the village, prices is picking up, and it's a big year for cotton.
And heroic, a charismatic superstar who leapt on the screen. Men wanted to be like him and women wanted to be with him. But in real life, he was complicated, longing for recognition as both an actor and writer. Devilishly handsome and charming, he was a risk-taker who flouted society's conventions and inevitably landed in trouble. For him, life was a series of adventures. Making movies was one.
Well, this is Colonel Braxton Beauregard Burlique the Fifth, adventurer, treasure hunter, swashbuckler extraordinaire, at your service, madam. Well, tonight's topic is, I think it's a relevant one. It's my commentary on this here video, 5 Ways Las Vegas Prostitutes Scam You. You know, the call gals. As you all know, I was in the entertainment industry, and I actually managed a bunch of gals who, well, they appeared in well, I wouldn't say first-rate production films, and you know, they were involved in other activities. And as you know, the old colonel himself, when he goes on vacation, sometimes he feels the need for feminine companionship. Perhaps, you know, play a game of cards, or, you know, maybe something else. But anyway, I just don't want any of you boys out there to get yourselves swindled. So you know, sometimes I'll do a video on a topic like this. So I'm gonna put this up screen. We're gonna watch the boy. I have not watched his video, but from years' experience, including Las Vegas, Nevada, I think I could offer some fair commentary, maybe some bits of advice.
Guys, there are no guarantees in life.
No, there
isn't. If you
isn't.
wind up in this situation here in Las Vegas, you're probably going to get robbed, and possibly with a gun in your face.
It could happen.
Las Vegas, a.k.a. Sin City,
Yes.
a place built on allowing people to explore all kinds of vices that were illegal in many other parts
That's
of the U.S.
right, yes.
Whether it was being able to gamble, getting alcohol during Prohibition,
You know,
or finding a prostitute at Block 16 in the early 1900s, where Fremont Street is today. A lot of this city's reputation comes from people being able to do things here
Yes.
that oftentimes were not legal in other parts of the country.
that's true.
And one of those things we're going to be talking about.
But one note, though, is in Clark County, where Las Vegas is, the prostitution is not legal. So we'll see what he says, but you might, you know, go out to a cat house out of the county. You know, I forget what county it is. Like there's some other these houses of ill repute. But you know, it's not all the glitz and glamour. You know, Elvis Presley, Viva Las Vegas, or Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin in the Rat Pack. This, you know, there's a dark, seedy side of Las Vegas. So this is what we're exploring here with this here boy.
About today. Now, this video is to help you not get ripped off, or worse, when you come here to Las Vegas, you decide to engage in something like this. I'm doing this video because I think a lot
You shouldn't really be doing it, son.
The laws here in Las Vegas and here in Nevada, and 2, don't realize how much danger they could be putting themselves in.
You shouldn't be doing it. You're a bad boy.
And in a city that many people think of as being very anything goes, lots of things do go here in Las Vegas.
I've been to the Tropicana. I've walked on that there bridge.
Element of danger if you get in a situation where you don't know what you're doing and you make yourself vulnerable. Let me clear up any confusion that you may possibly have when you come here to Las Vegas about the laws here in Nevada. Many tourists understand that prostitution is legal in Nevada. what many tourists do not understand is that prostitution is not legal through all
That's
parts
right.
of Nevada.
That's what I just said.
Now, here in the state of Nevada, we have 16 counties. In 10 of those counties, there is legalized prostitution.
Look at that. They even gives
However,
a flow
within
chart
those
here.
counties, the prostitution is regulated, and it can only legally take place inside of a brothel. Nevada law says that any county that has a population of more than 700,000 people cannot have legalized prostitution. Clark County, where Las Vegas is, where the Strip is right here, has over 2 million people, which means it is not legal here in Clark
That's
County.
what I thought.
However, escorting, which is simply charging someone for their company, is perfectly legal, is 100% legal here in Clark County, regardless of how much or how little clothing the person is wearing. Now, in case any of you are wondering what happens if you are arrested here in Las Vegas for engaging in prostitution, let me tell you. If you are arrested as a first-time offender for engaging in prostitution here in Las Vegas, you're going to be facing a misdemeanor.
Well, not only that, you're going to be a disgrace, son. What if the people in the...
In addition to that, you will pay...
What if the people in your church find out? Hell, it's bad enough. What if your wife finds out? Well, you'd be ruined, son. Scandalous. You know, it'd be terrible. So you got to be careful, boy.
A $400 fine plus a $200 civil penalty.
You could even lose your job.
A first-time offense can often get dismissed and be removed from your record if you pay a fine, do community service, or go to an AIDS awareness class, often called John School.
John School.
Now let's talk
John
about
School. I like that.
Scammed or ripped off engaging in prostitution.
That's right. You shouldn't be doing it, son.
Out by yourself walking the Strip, whether you are out in a public place with a prostitute, or if you're actually back at the hotel room. Now, the first way can happen to anyone, even if you're not out here trying to solicit. This is pretty much everyday thievery that takes place here in Las Vegas and, cities across the world. This is where you might be walking on the Strip by yourself with a group. You talk to a group of prostitutes. They come, engage you in conversation. There will usually be a group of them, 2, 3, or more.
Oh, boy.
They'll talk with you. They'll chat with you. Oftentimes show you some affection as well to try to grab your attention.
And your wallet.
One of them takes your phone, takes your wallet, or something like that.
That's an old ploy.
Out of your back pocket, and then hands it off to another one.
So that's right. Hell, that's been going on. Why, if you ever seen the movie The Great Train Robbery, they had that with these little street urchins and these other people, just like that Charles Dickens' Little Oliver. They're going around in gangs. They distract you and they pick your pocket. Before you know it, you got nothing.
Who's walking around behind them, they hand off to someone else, so that if you do notice it, they both show their hands, they say, hey, I don't have it, I don't know what you're talking about, but by that time, they've already handed it off to someone else, and they're often walking away with your property.
They made a chump out of you.
The second way you get ripped off is if you are out in public together at a bar, a restaurant, a club, or something like that, and they decide to drug your drink.
Oh, my God.
I've seen the aftermath of this specific scenario. This happened years ago at a club I was working at, where one male customer came in with 3 women that he had just met. Just met them on the Strip. One guy by himself with 3 women he just...
right there, 3 women, they come up to you. Let's be honest, son. You're just not so handsome and wonderful that 3 women are going to come up to you and they're going to want to befriend you. They're up to something. They're up to rob you. And this here ploy he's talking about, why we see that all over the world. And I have friends that travel down to Central and South America, Colombia, Nicaragua, and these places, and these are the same things. All these ploys, these women, they use their, they're paying attention, you boy, and you're all happy. You think you're cool. Oh, I'm here in Las Vegas. I'm here, but you know what? They're just setting you up. And now this one here, this is interesting story this here boy is telling. Let's listen.
On the Strip, came into the strip club where I was working at. The 4 of them sat down at one table, and surprisingly, one of the strippers actually joined them. Now, I say surprisingly because generally strippers hate when you bring women that you just met
less money
out on the Strip to the club. Because at the club, the women who work there are already competing with each other to try to make money. So when you bring in outside competition, you make their job even harder
Oh, yes.
than it already is.
Exactly.
Because the women you just brought with you that you just met on the strip, they're going to be trying to get money out of you. So if they're going to be trying to get money.
Well, remember this: all women are trying to get money out of you. Don't ever forget that, son. No matter where you are, women are always trying to get money out of you.
Of you. The women who work there at the club are going to have a harder time getting money out of you because the women you brought are going to be very defensive. Long story short, after they're there at the club for some time, I am over by the front door in the entryway area, and one of the senior hosts I see has to carry this guy
Oh my God.
to the front door. The guy is almost dead weight. I mean, he looked worse than if he were just drunk. So the host had to carry the guy because come to find out that the three women he came with not only drugged him in their drink, they also drugged the stripper that was at their table as well. Now, I don't know if they actually did rob the guy. The upper management took the case from there. They handled the whole thing. But the only reason they're going to drug you like that is to simply rob you.
Yes.
That situation already ended badly for that guy. But fortunately, he was in a place where there were employees and there were staff to actually look out for him.
Yes, that's right. What they normally do is they get you in the room and then they usually hit your drink. But I think in this case, they had this guy. I think they were going to roll him right in the strip club, and this stripper, she got in the way, so they drugged her too. But that's the point, son. You never drink a drink that you have not seen directly poured from the bartender's bottle. Even then, you got to wonder. But if you have it, you don't see it for a couple seconds. Somebody could have put a Mickey in there, the old saying, a Mickey. And therefore, you know it, you're laying on the floor. You got no money. You got no friends. You got nothing, son.
If that happens to you and there's no one around to look out for you, you put yourself in far more danger. The final 3 points we're going to talk about all involve you actually making it back to the room. Now, we're going to go over the best case scenario. We're going to go over a worst case scenario, and we're going to go over the worst case scenario. And all of these assume that you are staying at one of the major properties here on the strip.
That's right.
In this third scenario, you've already talked to her, you've already agreed to a certain amount, and you've agreed to go ahead and go back to your room. Now, maybe you're going to get what you bargained for, but if you are going to get robbed, your best case scenario, if you're going to get robbed in this, is that she tries to create some way to just take your wallet and run out of the room.
Yep.
Whether that's actually drugging you, like in the example earlier,
Look at it.
or whether that's you go to the bathroom real quickly and she grabs your wallet and runs
She
out
has
of the
kind
room.
of a Debbie Harry
Anything
look
along
to
those
her.
lines
Look at
where
her.
She tries to create a distraction. Is her trying to create an opportunity to just take your stuff and
Yes.
run. Say she runs out of there and you actually notice it right away, and she.
But here's the other thing. It's bad enough the gal just wants to steal all your money, but the other thing too is she could have. She could have been. Frankly, I hate to use the term. She could have effed you, and then stolen your money. But she thought so little of you, she didn't even F you. She just went and stole all the money. That's a double insult, really, if you think about it.
She runs out down the hallway and you go run and you catch her. You're still probably screwed because that's going to create a big scene in the casino. That's going to create a big scene in the hotel room areas. She's probably going to be screaming, making a scene. Other guests may come out of their rooms or just call security. When they show up, they're going to want to know what happened.
That's right.
Their own incident report.
Yep.
And because they're going to want to know what happened, they're going to file a report on it. They could possibly wind up getting the police involved. These major casinos here in Las Vegas
They don't like
oftentimes
that.
have police on property.
So how would you purify water in case
We
of
don't want any ads.
boil it? Boiling kills bacteria.
We don't
but it
want
doesn't
any
remove the contaminants.
advertisements.
24/7, they have police on property. So if they need someone, they can have them come and handle a situation like this. That's why I say this is probably the best case scenario, that all you lost were your credit cards, you lost your cash, you lost your ID, you lost your wallet, but all of those things can be replaced.
And you lost
The
your
fourth situation
manhood,
we're gonna be talking
son.
about right now is definitely the worst case scenario to be in.
Oh.
This is where, again, you make it back to your hotel room, but she texts somebody the room number you're in. So this could be her pimp. This
Yep.
could be several guys.
Exactly.
They wind up coming up to your room.
That's right.
And you are not ready for it.
Exactly.
In a scenario like this, understand that she may even make this a condition in order for the deal to go down and happen. She might say, well, hey, I won't go back to your room unless you tell me what room number you're in so that I can let my friends, my girlfriend, or whoever know that I am safe. Now, just think about this when you get to the room. If she doesn't say that, but you go to the room anyway, she's obviously going to be looking for the room number so that she can text that out to other people.
Exactly.
So she can text it out to someone and let them know. Now, what you're going to have to look out for is if she says something like, I need to text my friend, I need to text somebody, let them know I'm okay, let them know where I'm at. She might do that right in front of you. She might go to the bathroom and say, hey, I need a moment to get prepared.
Exactly.
And then send the text out then. And if she does, the countdown has already started and you don't even know it.
Exactly.
At this point, you're in a pretty vulnerable spot because you are totally unprepared, you are outnumbered, and you may have weapons pulled on you just to incentivize you to hand over your stuff even quicker.
Exactly.
If there's one thing that is going to be your saving grace in a situation like this, it is that you are in one of these bigger properties here on the Strip, because the sheer size of it alone gives you a little bit of help, a little bit of an advantage to being able to notice if something like this is coming. These properties will oftentimes now be checking for room keys at the elevator. So if they don't have a room key, oftentimes they cannot get security to
very
get in
good.
the elevator. If they can get in the elevator and they're in there with you, hopefully you would notice that something seems a little out of place. Also, if you go up to the room, say you are going down the hallway, they came up in a separate elevator and they happen to get up there, just behind you. You're going down a really long hallway in some of these big properties here.
Yes.
There's not a whole lot of place for people to hide if they are following you. They could try to sneak off, in front of someone else's door if you turn around, but the chance to be able to actually do that, notice it, and time it are going to be difficult. So that long, narrow hallway you're walking down can actually help you. If you hear something, you look,
That's
find
true.
what you see to give you a little bit of a clue that something bad might be about to happen. The fifth and final scenario I want to talk about is the absolute worst case scenario.
Wait, go back to their
The
place.
whole reason I'm walking down this end of the Strip is to show you the exact type of place you don't want to end up at. Because
In the
it's
alley.
the same situation as the two scenarios before, but this time you made the horrible decision to not go back to your room, but to go to a room that she
That's right.
to go to a place that
Exactly.
she controls.
Exactly.
Now, guys, there are no guarantees in life. But
Don't
if you end
ever.
up in this situation here in Las Vegas,
Don't ever do that. If you ever get in that, you shouldn't get in that situation, son, but you never go back to their place. There could be a whole gang of guys waiting to beat your brains in and take all your money. But I'll let the boy finish. It's a very good video this boy is producing here.
you're probably going to get robbed, and possibly with a gun in your face. Now, if you guys remember the video I did last year about the 5 sketchiest hotels, motels, places like that to stay here on the Strip, very popular video here on the channel. Several of them were down here at the south end of the Strip. Now, there are places that are going to be sketchy, shady, give you kind of a bad vibe on the Strip, off the Strip, downtown,
Oh, boy.
all over the area, big cities all across the world. That's nothing new. But these are the kinds of places you exactly don't want to end up going to in this scenario.
Exactly. It's
The
not
biggest
worth
reason I
trying to
say
save
that
the
is
money.
Because you look at the logistics of a small motel like this versus one of the major casinos, hotels and casinos over on the
He's
Strip.
right.
A lot of the things that can protect you over on the Strip and those big properties do not exist when you're at some small motel like this. Oftentimes, these motels are 1 story, maybe 2 stories. So there's no elevators.
That's
there's
right.
No barrier to
Like
have,
those old ones from the
checked.
1960s.
There's oftentimes no security. There's no long hallways.
That's right.
There's no police on property. There might be no cameras over at a spot like this. So when you come to a place like this, it's way easier to set someone up to get robbed.
Wow, that's
because they
right.
could be right here on the first floor. Somebody could be waiting around the corner for you, or you go into the room and you have absolutely.
That's right. You're trapped. I mean, look how that's probably from the 50s or 60s. You're going to be in big trouble, son. You'll be cornered like a rat. They could bum rush you into that room and beat the hell out of you, take all your money, and just laugh in your face.
No idea who is inside there waiting for you.
That's right.
Look, when you guys come here on vacation, you're going to make your own decisions. You can do what you want to have fun and live your life the way you want while you're here. Now, any large tourist area is going to have its fair share of scams that people try to run on tourists. Sometimes those scams just get money out of you. Sometimes they do involve a certain element of danger. But when you're here on vacation, enjoy yourself, have fun. But this video was just help you
You're
be,
right.
to be aware of some of these scams, some of the danger you could be putting yourself in, because you either don't know the law or you think that something that here that is you think is legal is actually not legal, and you wind up putting yourself in a lot of danger without knowing it. So come on vacation, enjoy yourself,
Exactly.
stay safe.
Exactly. He's right. But he is absolutely right. That's a lot of the scams that you see. And then he didn't talk about some of the other things, like say you're at the gaming table and there's some gal saddles up to you, and you're winning, and this and that, and she's trying to steal the chips from you or pick your pocket. Start out like, buy me a drink, honey. Just, you know what? Just don't do it. You shouldn't be thinking you're going to be like Sean Connery, in a James Bond movie. It's dangerous out there, son. And, the old colonel's just trying to protect y'all. But you go anywhere, especially Las Vegas, any of these tourist traps, you're going to have people there out to defraud and cheat you and maybe even kick your ass just for a couple giggles. So I'm, very glad to provide you with that. And one thing, too, I would tell you, son, is, and he didn't talk about this, but if you do have a room, all your spending money, carry around the least amount of money, you and your credit cards. Put those in the hotel safe, or if you have a safe in the room, you put it in that safe, and you don't open the safe in front of the gal. You just and you just have a minimum amount of money in your pocket. And another thing too is, even in those rooms, those gals, they could spark your drink. You're there for one thing. Stick with that. Don't sit around trying to drink with them. They'll slip you something, and before you know it, you're laying naked on the floor. You wake up 6 hours later. You got no money, no clothes. You got nothing. You're lucky somebody didn't come in and beat the hell out of you. And there's another thing too. Down in Central South America, I've had reports that they get these guys, they drug them, and then there was a report they drugged this guy. They dumped all this ice in the bathtub. This gang, they were selling his body parts for transplants. So there's all kinds of crazy, terrible things out there. But I just thought I'd do this little video. I'd run across this boy, and I thought that'd be an interesting video to do one on a commentary. I think it was good. So anyway, son, I'm getting a little tired. I think I'm going to have to, maybe prepare to retire for the night. So I'm going to sign off. Well, this is Colonel Braxton Beauregard Burlique the Fifth, adventurer, treasure hunter, swashbuckler extraordinaire, at your service, madam, signing off. Goodbye, y'all.